Hey, welcome to Adventures with Peps. This week we are painting Orlock, aka Orlock the Assassin, the fictional character from 2000 AD Judge Dredd, miniatures by Warlord Games. He was a special operative of the Soviet megacity East Meg One, and he was introduced in Block Mania, so it feels like the perfect time to be painting him. And to kick things off, we're going to start with Sand Golem. And I am going to use this for his hair. But yeah, Orlock the Assassin, he first appeared in Block Mania, as I said, and he was the cause of all the block riots that happened, which ultimately led to the Apocalypse War. He spread Block Mania throughout by contaminating water to the mega blocks. He's also responsible for killing the original Judge Giant, who discovered what he was up to and tried to stop him. And then, I don't want to spoil too much with my spoilers, but if you've read the comic, you ultimately know Judge Dredd destroys East Meg One, leaving Orlok homeless and with a strong desire for revenge, which becomes his main character trait throughout the comics. He then appears in a lot of Judge Anderson strips throughout the years. And he also appears in space when Anderson goes on her walk around. But he is one mean villain with a head count of, I don't know, over... Hang on, we're moving on to Crusader's skin. Make sure I get all the paint mentioned. It's going to obviously go on his skin. But yeah, he's a reoccurring character for me. He was iconic for me in the early 90s and into the 2000s. But I believe I'm not fully up to date with the comics because I stopped reading and I've gone back to the beginning. So I am behind now by a few years, I believe. But I think he is now dead. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think they finally put him to rest. He did have a cool strip in the magazine, and it follows his career as an assassin for the East Meg before the Block Wars, and he goes to strange places like Oz and gets into all sorts of shenanigans. Great comic, I'll have to dig them up. But yeah, I'm so happy to be painting this. I have the Mongoose version, which I painted in green. I can't remember why I did that back in the day, but he is in a stunning green colour. This one I'm going to do in the more traditional red jumpsuit that he's seen in, which is more of the period of Block Mania. And then I'm hoping to get some of the agent model done from one of the other packs. And then maybe we can do the battle report that Warlord Games released recently, the Hour of the Wolf, where basically Orlok and his aide have to try and fight their way out of a car park against a bunch of gangers. So already he's taken shape. He's got his nice blonde hair going, he's got his flesh tones going. I'm very happy with how he's currently looking. And we are going to move on to, if I can get it to focus, hardened leather. Obviously for all the leather accents that he's got. So we'll start with the boot. It's all about the boot. Now I don't know why I wanted to go with Sand Golem for his hair. He obviously has brown hair in a lot of the comic strips. I just wanted to mix things up a little bit, give him a little blonde accent. Maybe I could have done him in his later years when he's starting to go a bit grey. The iconic image of him poisoning the water, which I believe is what's meant to be in his hand. He has gingery red hair. I'm not entirely sure if that was on purpose or that's just how the artist could do it back in the day. But for me, I'm going with this. It will make him look different to the Mongoose model, which I plan to also use as Orlok in a different way. It's nice to have options when you're playing a game. You don't always want to be playing with the same figure in the same way every time. And with this belt pouch done, I think we just got the belt itself to do, and then we can move on to the next step. So join me back in a minute. Right, with the brown all done and drying, we can move on to the next colour, which is going to be the runic grey. Obviously this is my version of a metallic in my Judge Dredd figures. I really enjoy using this instead of silver. Actually, I'm changing my mind. We're jumping into Slaughter Red next. We're going to do the bodysuit. I feel like if I make a mistake now with the red, it'll be easier to clean up, and then we can do the grey. If I go the other way around and mess it up, I've then got to clean it up and then do the grey again. So let's keep things simple and do the red. His iconic image, he is this bright bold red. And I think he's going to look stunning in this red in particular. I was tempted to go blood red, but I was worried it might come out a bit too peachy pink. I want a nice bold stunning red. The model itself has so many nooks and crannies to it because he's in this like kneeled position. Very fiddly to try and get into all the different parts without hitting areas that I've painted brown already. But I'm just taking my time, slow and steady. As far as paint schemes go, he has very little going on. You have the browns, you have the red, flesh colour, a hair colour and a gun colour. So it's 5 paints in total. Start to finish, he was very quick to paint. It is at this stage that I noticed there's some flash on the arm, which I know some of you get very upset about seeing and tell me off, but I do remove it this time. You'll see it in the final photos. I scratched it away and patched the model. To be honest, mold lines don't bother me. We've discussed this many a times in some of the videos. I'm not here to show you Golden Demon standard. I'm here to show you how to get models painted and on the table, playing games with them. They're there to get played with. Obviously, if you want to take the time, you can do it, but I get maybe an hour a day to do hobby time. I don't want to waste that scraping plastic. I'd rather just get paint down, see what the model looks like. If the mold line really annoys me, I'll scrape it off. Otherwise, it can stay there. I don't care. Right, there we go. That's the final sleeve done. He is bright, bold, ready to kill some capitalist megacity judges. Gonna get his gloves. I think in the comic his gloves are brown. But I don't know, I'm loving this red. So we're just going to keep going with it. Keep the good times going. Now I don't want to mess up the red in any way, shape or form, because it's such a bold, bright red. So what we're going to do, we're going to put them down, we're going to let them dry, and then we'll come back in a little bit. This is probably a good time to do the whole like, comment, subscribe. You know you wanna. Just drop it. Just drop me a subscribe. It's free to do. It'll put a smile on my face. Also, drop me a comment. Is there a model you want to see painted? Is there a model range I should look at to do some painting videos of? Let me know. Right, back to Runic Grey. The model has dried up a little bit. We shouldn't get any bleed happening. And this is a super simple step. Get the gun. Get enough paint on it that gives it some shade without flooding it too much. The weather in Ottawa currently it's really warmed up this week. We've gone from ice storms and snow to I think tomorrow's going to be +20. Crazy weather at the moment. It was at this stage that I was going to do the bottle in the same grey, but I thought it might look better if I mixed it up a little bit, put some effort into my painting. So I grabbed the grim black, and with the grim black we're just going to get the bottle and the poisonous liquid that he's pouring out. It's a weird feature to put on the model, I'm not going to lie. Initially I thought maybe it was a firebomb, but on closer inspection I realised it's meant to be his little bottle of toxins that he's pouring into some sort of sewage works. But with that step complete, we are going to move into the final model photographs. As always, I appreciate you stopping by, I appreciate all the love I'm getting, and I hope to catch you next week. Cheers for watching.